her name was Maggie. But they were very attached and all like that. But when he got in with the family, like, the family that he got in with, they were inclined to drink, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But he got to take a drink then. Not saying that my father used to drink and other brothers used to drink, but he was the one that hated it, you know. But a fella like who hated it up to, and he didn't take his first drink till he was about 22 or 23. But in this band, when he got in with them, like, he started drinking that, and the two of them, him and Maggie, screw out together and all the rest. But they were going for a few years, and anyway, he wanted to get married, but the way it was, she was the eldest in that particular family, and she worked in a match factory, and which this at the time was thought to be a very good job, you see, and she reckoned that she was one of the main supports of the family, because I don't think the father was working, and her being the eldest, like, they ranged from about 20 to about 2. I don't know whether it was 8 or 9 of them or not in the family, but she kept putting off the, and she reckoned like that she was one of the main supports of the household, you know. But he wanted to get married, and she kept putting it off, and he got heavier in drink and all the rest, with the results that were forever having arguments, you know.
Mm.
And then they broke it up, and they were out for a good few years. And then after a good few years, she still worked in the same place. Well, he himself, like Andy, he was very badly educated. You know, he never went to school. He wouldn't go to school. He could hardly just write his own name about, but he had a mathematician for counting, and he was a good tradesman. He was a good painter, house painter. But figures, he was brilliant at figures, but he never read a book. As I say, I don't think he ever wrote a letter, no. But they kind of got back together again, and it went on for a while, and more arguments, this and that, you know. And I don't know what she was like, but he could get very cranky and all like that, you know. But time passed by, and like all my stories, coming to the end of it, he got quite sick for years and years, probably to the worry or whatever it was. He had an ulcer, but he wouldn't go for an operation or that, you know. He wouldn't hear tell of going for an operation to have the ulcer removed or that, because a friend who he'd worked with for a good deal had an operation and didn't come out, but you know, so he said not for him. But he suffered a bit with his chest too, like asthma and that, you know. But around about 1972, he was up in St. Mary's, over his chest, like the asthma and that, you know. And while he was there, he got word. Well, word came through. Like, he hadn't seen his girl. He tried. He made several attempts to. He used to go where, you know, when they were going together, they had permanent seats for the cinema up in Pimsborough, and he often went. He'd go, and you know, hoping that, you know, but they never got together. But In 1972, he was in St Mary's Hospital in the Park, and he heard that Maggie had died. Well, he never really recovered from that. Do you know what I mean? Like, he all his life, he was hoping that they'd get back together again. For years and years, like, he never gave up. I mean, he was going with her, like, from about 1935 till on and off till about 1950. Like, with few breaks in between.
Yeah.
And then, like, even after that, when they broke, he was always hoping that your mother met her. When would she have met her? About around 1950 or that. But it just had to do. But as I say, like, he died in 1973. And he was only 56 when he died. She was around the same age.